I'm Jerry Madsen, your narrator for the next hour and a quarter, and I'd like to welcome you and the family to the Ozarks and Branson, the music and entertainment capital of the world. Branson is old downtown with its neat shops, wonderful cafes, ice cream parlors, and restaurants, along with parks, old-fashioned streetlights, buggy rides, and Lake Taneycomo. The larger part of Branson is to the west with its theaters, recreational themes, restaurant chains, hotels, motels, malls, shops, and glitter. You'll find Roy out there, the first nationally known star to build on Country Music Boulevard, and you'll find local stars a-grinning and a-picking like it was yesteryear. Well, you'll find theme parks like Whitewater where you can cool off, and you can zip on down to the lakes and ride one of the growing number of dinner cruises. Or take in a Broadway show like the Pump Boys and Dinettes. Perhaps it's the country flavor like the Jubilee that will entice you, or maybe it's a ride on the Branson Scenic Railway through the beautiful Ozark Mountains. There are trail rides galore, each offering something special. And you can enjoy shows like Anita Bryant's 50s favorites, country and gospel. There are impersonators out there, too, like Terry Sanders. He does a job on Joan Rivers. And the Breischler Show, country, gospel, and comedy at its best. Take in one of the area's fabulous museums and learn a bit about our heritage. Or ride the rides of yesteryear, delicately framed in a forest park setting like Mutton Hollow. You can just be a kid again. You can drop into many of the theaters and find old-time favorites like Tommy Cash. Or pop into Jim Stafford's theater and help yourself to another great show. The most common way to come to Branson is by horseless carriage. That's 30,000 to 50,000 wheeled vehicles coming in and out every day to a town that advertises a population of 3,786, or more like 4,500 now. Some of that traffic is just local folks going to work or to the supermarket. As the latest count says, we only have 6 million visitors a year. Buses have become a very popular way to come to Branson and leave the driving to the professionals. It's a great way to see all the sights and not have to pay attention to the road or that fellow who stopped in front to take a picture in the middle of it. There are 10,000 bus companies throughout the United States bringing visitors our direction, and boy, do those drivers and tour directors pamper their guests. You may want to fly down in your own plane, landing at M. Graham Clark Airport, Point Lookout at College of the Ozarks, just 3 miles from downtown. The airport is an all-weather, full-service airport and certified repair station. Their runway is 3,600 feet long with 2 instrument approaches. Plenty of room for overnight parking of private aircraft. Branson Airlines is the way to go if you don't want to fly your own rig. They are in the air year-round, servicing Kansas City, St. Louis, Nashville, and Dallas-Fort Worth. They fly de Havilland Dash 7 4-engine turboprop aircraft. Branson Airlines will provide you with on-time, courteous, Ozark-friendly service. At the terminal, you can arrange for bus or taxi or take advantage of Avis car rentals. Or you could check out a Roadster in Branson at Roadsters You Drive. Discover a little nostalgia. Or perhaps a dollar rental car is what you'd like. You can also pick up a good car at, you say, Auto Rentals. And if you're adventuresome, you'll want a Jeep from Sun and Surf. You can hoof it or ride the trolley to numerous destinations throughout the area also. And there is, of course, the old standby for transportation, mule and wagon, with 2 horses for those side trips. That's the way Hank does it when he comes to town. The campgrounds aren't always pleased with his hay burners, though. When you come to Branson, I'd recommend you first stop at the Branson Chamber of Commerce. They have a house full of Ozark-friendly people that can get you headed right. They can tell you how to find a land and lake cruise or what College of the Ozarks has to offer, the best route to the dam and how to get there without all the traffic problems, and they can point out special things like the Shepherd of the Hills Trout Hatchery, the Shepherd of the Hills Outdoor Theater and Homestead, Silver Dollar City, the 1890s theme park, Mutton Hollow, the entertainment and craft village, or where the Princess Cruise Line takes off from on Lake Taneycomo, or how to get to one of a number of spectacular views. Don't miss the Chamber of Commerce. Write to them beforehand or use their toll-free number and order a vacation package even before you get here. The next thing you'll be looking for is a place to stay, and there are well over 17,000 motel rooms out there. For example, the Alpen Rose Inn, a Bavarian luxury motel, family-owned and operated, beautiful rooms, and what a continental breakfast. That's Ozark hospitality. Another example is the Ozark Valley Inn, again family-operated and newly constructed. Jacuzzi, pool, game room, and close to everything, and of course, friendly Ozark folks to cater to your needs. And here's Branson Towers, deluxe guest rooms, pool, game room, fireplaces, and much, much more. There's room out there for your taste and budget, but don't forget about reservations. Certain times of the year are a bit tougher than others. Resorts, Branson has hundreds, all offering something unique. Here at the Woods Resort, you'll begin with a drive right up to the log clubhouse and check-in area. The Woods is nestled in 130 acres of Ozark's forest with nature trails, wildlife, and waterfalls, and is very close to the area attractions and theaters. There are hundreds of conventional motel rooms scattered throughout the property with beautiful views of the grounds, forest, and distant vistas. If a log cabin's your choice, they come with fireplace, jacuzzi tubs, full kitchens, private decks, and many other amenities. Soon the property will boast its own restaurant and condominium units. Now, if you want a resort close to Silver Dollar City and very near the lake, Golden Arrow is a good example. It's a family resort that appeals to the young and not so young. They have a variety of accommodations, motel rooms, cabins, duplexes, and chalets to suit your taste and budget. Why, they even have a nice jacuzzi surrounded by beautiful grounds in all directions and a spacious pool to go along with it. Now, if boating and fishing and being right next to the water is a concern, there's other resorts out there that are a little out and away, but they are right on the lake, like Bavarian Village. A resort with 1- and 2-bedroom duplexes and delightful A-frame cottages that are immaculately maintained and have beautiful views of the Ozarks and Table Rock Lake. Lazy Lee's Resort, right on the water, providing a 26-stall boat dock for the fisherman or water sports enthusiast. And it has beautiful panoramic views of the lake and surrounding hills, complete with beer, ice, groceries, pool, and 1- to 4-bedroom units. If you plan to stay in Ozark Mountain Country and a condominium's your style, they come in all sizes. Here we get a glimpse of the treehouse condominiums overlooking Table Rock Lake. Very near to Branson and area attractions, a place you can relax and enjoy. The Greens at Thousand Hills is one that is right in the middle of Music Show Mecca. You can buy your condo or just rent one temporarily. They offer 2-bedroom units with everything: indoor, outdoor pool, a huge clubhouse, and many other amenities. You know, camping's another way to go. There's over 7,000 RV sites in the Branson area, and more building all the time. You can just pick your location and your view. Here we see Musicland KOA, right in the heart of music country on Country Music Boulevard. You can drive right in any size rig, and they'll have a site to fit. Of course, again, I caution you to make reservations before you come, just in case. The campground has a very nice gift shop and a check-in area, operated by down-home folks with your interest at heart. You'll enjoy a beautiful park with shaded sites, complete hookups, and the folks will even make your show reservations for you. Where, I wonder, but in Branson, could you find a campground in the forest? Right next to a half-dozen music shows with their acres of asphalt parking lots, and the campground surrounded by all kinds of restaurants and shops. It is unusual, but that's Branson. There are even camper cabins, if everyone won't fit in your rig, and they have all the conveniences built right in. Folks make KOA their only stop, coming from all parts of the country, like Dale Bring from Alliance, Nebraska, and his Herbie Husker. He makes old Herbie for sale. And, of course, what campground would be complete without a beautiful pool reflecting the foliage surrounding it? And right next to the pool, the game room and laundromat. Well, that's Musicland KOA. To give you another reference in campgrounds, we stop at the Branson View Campground close into the city. It's a beautiful mountainside location high on a ridge west of Branson. It's convenient to all the attractions, complete with convenience store, laundry, and recreation room. Long, shady pull-throughs up to 90 foot grace the hillside. Among the many amenities available, you can even have a private phone hooked up to your site. You can lounge about most anywhere on the grounds and enjoy the beautiful views of Branson, as the name implies. Table Rock State Park offers camping for the RVer and the tent camper alike, with 165 camping spaces and large open spaces for recreation. The sites are divided into full hookups and rough it. The campground is also very close to Branson, but right on Table Rock Lake. And they have the State Park Marina, where you can launch your boat or rent anything from a putter boat to a yacht. You can even grab a parasail ride out over the lake or make this your fishing headquarters. Well, if you decide to come our way and buy or build your home, you can go the castle route on a mountain overlooking the lake. Remember, property values are becoming more and more comparable to the western states all the time. Maybe you had more of a secluded ranch in mind, like this one in a hidden valley not far distant from town. You could sure let the buffalo roam. Another possibility is a modern log cabin in the woods with a view and a spacious front lawn. The Branson area is building more homes all the time, but not many fit into the low-cost category, and you won't find a whole lot to rent. Homes like these might just take your fancy. This is Meadow Ridge, a planned residential community just on the outskirts, away from the hustle and bustle, with every amenity built right into them. And they are certainly inexpensive by West Coast standards, and well built. The Branson area offers churches of every architecture and 15 denominations. To date, there are over 41 church homes. It's good to know there are as many churches as music theaters, and some of those theaters have services on Sunday too. They don't call this the Bible Belt for nothing, and if you're visiting or moving on down, there is a church for you. Branson's public school system is commendable. Shown here is the high school, and College of the Ozarks is nearby, and within a 40-mile radius, 5 colleges and a university. And currently being built is the Cedar Ridge Elementary School and the new Branson Junior High. We have one of the finest hospitals around too, Skaggs Community Hospital, a level 3 trauma center. Let's go have a look around town. No, not this 1907 version, but Branson of 1994. Looking out across Lake Taneycomo, Branson looks just like a sleepy little Midwest community. Not so. Downtown is a busy little place with 6 million visitors a year and 9 million prophesied by 1999. Believe it or not, downtown stays fairly uncongested considering. Seems like everyone just filters through with the right timing, and there's a parking garage for the overflow. There are shops of all kinds in downtown and thousands more throughout the area. If you consider downtown a shopping mall, we have 8 small ones altogether and 10 monster malls under construction. Dick's 5 and Dime is unique though, and must not be missed. I doubt there's another like it anywhere. Remember how the dime stores were jammed with everything you could possibly need? It's still here like the day it was opened. If Dick doesn't have it, you probably don't need it. He's got the modern stuff, and if the old stuff isn't made anymore, he's got reproductions that would satisfy anyone. Hundreds of artists and crafters have created a unique shopping opportunity here. Be sure to mosey around town and look at everything. Visitors have ranked shopping in Branson second to sightseeing in popularity. There are arts, crafts, jewelry, furnishings, and a range of merchandise usually found only in much larger cities at competitive prices. Stop into Patricia's house. You can find the ever-popular Victorian items and furnishings of the period. There are dolls, china, wood, porcelain, glass, tin, brass, and even a little gold and silver. While you're in the area, you'll want to check some of those malls I mentioned, like Engler's Block, with over 30 shops and galleries, craftsmen demonstrating in many of them. Be sure to begin with the delight of Engler's Emporium and Gnome Home. Gnomes are in abundance, along with thousands and thousands of Ozark crafted items. Be sure to check through all these shops for wonderful surprises. Hell yeah. Getting hungry? There are over 25,000 restaurant seats in Branson, and there's Bob Evans right off Highway 65. Well, talk about hospitality. I guess the manager wouldn't have time to greet everyone, but that's how friendly they are. You enter Bob Evans right through the gift shop, which specializes in one-of-a-kind gifts and crafts. The restaurant has a homey atmosphere, and the food is just like going to Grandma's for the holidays. Another good place to eat's the Branson Cafe, and it's been in downtown Branson since 1910. They pride themselves on good home cooking. It's one of the most frequently visited by locals. And the Lone Star Steakhouse is a mighty fine place to eat and is a prime example of the many full-service restaurants in the area. And Molly's is another great example of down-home cooking and a prime example of buffet presentations in the area. You'll be amazed at all the eating opportunities available around town, from McDonald's and other fast food to gourmet dining at family-owned and big chain restaurants as well. Well, I reckon it's time to have a look at the music shows and theaters. There are over 53,000 theater seats out there, and more theaters in the building every year. You can see shows from Nashville, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, and New York City. Make reservations. The Ball Daubers started it all in 1959, right down on the lakefront. Now over 35 years entertaining guests from all over the world. The Ball Daubers are country music and comedy in overdrive. Let's peek into some of the music shows.
Shoji's bathroom. Anyway, congratulations on 10 wonderful years, and Branson, you have been a delight, and I thank you. Good night.
Joe Rivers, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Oh, at night you go back to that old country church and you hear songs of prayers. How the people would sing, it would bang and scream at that old country church.
I've never heard before. Lord, those high praises lifted me up off the floor. My feet began to dance. I felt so fine I had to clap my hands. I checked in the hotel, hallelujah. I checked in the hotel, hallelujah. You can check out if you please, but I don't have only in the hotel, hallelujah.
Highway 57, pump boy.
Here's a love song, friends. This is a beautiful story. about a young lady with a magnetic personality who falls in love with a fellow with a steel plate in his head. It's called Stuck on You. Well, the first time I met Dixie was in a parking lot in Branson. I was sitting in my pickup all alone. She walked out of the Walmart, took one look at my truck, and asked me if I'd like to take her home. She said she had a new place. We went to her old place, cause she said there's something she forgot to do. One hug and one kiss later, she unplugged her refrigerator. That's when I knew I was helping Dixie move. Oh, friends, we got the Wild Bunch in here. We're going to have a good time tonight. I got a good feeling about it.
Drop on into the Christie Lane Theater and listen to Christie sing her One Day at a Time and all your old favorites. And Christie headlines a number of other big-name entertainers as well. Mo can sing them all, and it's a show you don't want to miss. He serves a wide range all the way from comedy to gospel and patriotic. John Davidson is a masterful showman as he sings everything from love ballads to country to 50s rock. The Five Star Theater presents Kirby Van Birch, a master of illusion and the Prince of Magic, along with Philip Welford, an Emmy Award comedian. The Shenandoah South Theater was built in 1993 to host Wayne Newton, Johnny Cash, Neil Sedaka, and a whole realm of famous folks. There are so many theaters in this town and more coming we can't look at them all, but here is a partial list of more you can attend. There's the Andy Williams Moon River Theater, Bobby Vinton Blue Velvet Theater, Boxcar Willie. There's Buck Trent Breakfast Theater, Country Tonight Show, Don Dino. There's Echo Hollow, Gettysburg, Grand Palace, Mutton Hollow Review, the Osmond Family, the Owens Theater, Presley's Mountain Music, and the 76 Music Hall, Soji Tabuchi $25,000 Game Show, the Thunderbird Theater, Waltzing Waters, Will Rogers, and more to come. Like the Glenn Campbell Good Time Theater, building for the 1994 season. And the new Mel Tillis Theater, also open for 1994. And Mickey Gilley's new theater after fire in 93, all brand new for 94. And here comes the Lawrence Welk Theater and Resort Complex, champagne music forever. Charlie Pride's new theater will feature Pride and his dynamic voice delivering many of his 36 #1 hits, along with Don Williams and Barbara Fairchild. What do you say we go out and have a look at Ozark Mountain Country in the summertime? The early dawn brings a beautiful sky, and the gray-blue mist of the Ozark Hills has been written about for generations by a number of famous authors. From way up here, we can get a good look at Table Rock Lake and the beginning of Lake Taneycomo at the foot of the dam. Table Rock Lake runs for 75 miles upstream of what was once the White River. Because of the dam built by the Army Corps of Engineers in 1958, resulting Table Rock Lake encompasses 745 miles of shoreline and 43,100 surface acres of water. It winds its way through the scenic Ozark Mountains, creating an unmatched balance of natural beauty and recreational opportunity. Boating on Table Rock Lake is one of the major activities of visitors and locals alike. It's enjoyed by thousands every year. Boating also is enjoyed on 22-mile-long Lake Taneycomo, created in 1913 by Powerside Dam. So get out there and enjoy the lakes, whether by jet ski, boat, or just observing the beautiful waterscapes. There are a number of beaches and recreational areas out there, both private, commercial, state, and federal. Of course, anyone likes to jump in the lake and cool off, whether you have a boat or not. You could substitute for an emergency cleanup before the next music show. Maybe you'd just like to spend the day being lazy and off by yourself, catching up on your suntan and good conversation. Oh, I didn't forget the fishermen. Fishing on Table Rock is bass fishermen's dreams. Vast numbers of largemouth, smallmouth, and Kentucky bass infest the lake, and over 800,000 rainbow and German brown trout are taken from Lake Taneycomo every year. Table Rock Dam is a beautiful thing when all the gates are open, dumping 30,000 gallons a second. The park and recreational areas around the lakes are absolutely beautiful in the summer, and enjoying them is a very inexpensive way to have a delightful vacation. Picnicking in the forest close to the lake is an absolute must for the whole family. It's a good way to get away from the hustle and bustle of go here and go there, and it's a great place to let the kids blow off some steam. And it's good to talk over the fishing with your buddy. Can't you smell the great aroma of an outdoor meal wafting toward you? Being outside will rake up some real appetites. Maybe horseback riding's your trip. It is a great way to enjoy our beautiful countryside and streams. A nice air-conditioned automobile or one of the many sightseeing buses is a great way to see the country also. You know, get yourself up high and have a look around the Branson scene. See how it really nestles into a giant forest broken up by rugged knobs and valleys. Check out the lake from an elevation too. You'll not see near all of it from one vantage point, but it is awe-inspiring from most anywhere up high. Our sunsets are sometimes inspiring, but you'll have to pick your location. They're not as easily seen in this vast Ozark countryside. Let's go see some of the many attractions out there. What could be more pleasant than a ride along Lake Taneycomo with the original Branson Carriage Company? George Rush or his wife Pauline would be delighted to talk about Ozark lore, or just let you ride peaceful as you travel down along what was once the White River. Be sure to get a look from the ground. But if you want to set your sights a little higher, there's Table Rock Helicopters located right on Highway 76. Mosey right in and talk with a friendly professional staff about what tour you'd like to take. They offer a number of tours, but if you wish to charter a machine and make up your own itinerary, you can do that too. There's room for 6 on their large helicopters, so generally the whole family can go if they wish. It's affordable, safe, pleasant, and the best way to get an overview of Branson and the beauty and serenity of the Ozarks. Your pilot will narrate the tour, and you'll find that his commentary is most informative and interesting, and he'll be delighted to point out things of special interest and answer your questions when at all possible. If you have a quick eye, you can see Boxcar Willie's Theater, Christie Lanes, and across the street, Waltzing Waters and the 5-Star Theater, followed by the Ozark Theater in the upper left and the Country Tonight Theater way out ahead. Once that was the Ray Stevens Theater. There's lots to do on Country Music Boulevard or 76 Highway. Also on Highway 76, before you leave town, why, you can escape to the tropics at one of the world's best water adventure parks. Drive right in. There's plenty of parking any day. Be sure to bring the whole family. There's something here for everyone, from the littlest person to Gram and Gramp. They have celebrated over 15 years of safe water fun. They have free life jackets and an entire staff of Red Cross certified lifeguards. Perhaps you'd like to try this one, Paradise Plunge, right off a 207-foot triple drop. Looks like the March of the Donut People to me, but it's the way to both the Bermuda Triangle and the Caribbean Plunge. They have single and double occupancy tubes also. That way, if you don't want to go it alone, why, you can just plain double up. Boy, that looks refreshing. If you don't want to zip and rip, you can enjoy Surfquake, our version of the sea. Gently rolling waves are a 4-footer on an Ozark ocean. If you're real energetic, you can head over to the sand volleyball court, or a little less rigorous, go shopping at the treasure chest while the rest of the folks splash around here. If you're hungry, you can enjoy refreshing tropical treats or try the Tradewinds Cafe for really delicious meals. You may want to just float down Paradise River, enjoy the little ones, and let your cares just drift away. Don't you just wish you had this in your own backyard? Check the dude out with the sunglasses here. If this is a little too peaceful, you may want to attack an alligator at Splash Island. A really great place for the youngsters and a cool place to watch them. You won't want to miss the Tropical Twister, where the whole family can enjoy the adventure as one. As many as 6 of you can ride all at once. Yes, Whitewater is a place for hours of safe fun for the kids and peace of mind for Mom and Dad. And you can always while away some time resting and sizzling in the sun or back up under one of the shaded areas. Next on our list is the Princess Excursion Line on Lake Taneycomo, the only side paddle wheel boat in the Midwest. Fully Coast Guard approved and licensed, and they have a breakfast cruise, noon luncheon, pre-show dinner, ultimate evening dinner, and sightseeing cruise. Captain Howard will take you on a riverboat adventure you'll thoroughly enjoy, in air-conditioned comfort too. Or you can ride the top deck and let the calming Ozark breeze flow through your hair. Enjoy the wildlife and observe the goings-on on what was once the White River, where many side and stern wheelers plied their trade so long ago. There are 2 cash bars aboard for mixed drinks, beer, wine coolers, and soft drinks. And of course, you can enjoy them along the rail or inside. Early on the dinner cruise, delectable hors d'oeuvres are served, and you can just help yourself. The captain is ever watchful of the lake, but if you sneak up on him, he'll be delighted to gab for a second. And throughout the cruise, he'll explain much of the history of the old river. The cruise is wonderful for children of all ages, and it's wonderful for adults too. You may just find your special moment here, standing close to that special someone. Or you may just see a whooping crane take wing out across the beautiful waters of the lake. All meals are prepared on board or at their dockside galley. Can't you just smell those steaks a-sizzling? Them ain't paper plates neither. Everything's served on dinnerware in a first-class, climate-controlled environment, folks. And it's served by Ozark-friendly people. You can sit very comfortably right next to the window with a beautiful view and enjoy a most scrumptious meal. Why, the view ain't bad out the back either. There are beautiful homes all along the river to admire, and many other things that only this individual or that will find of interest. But there is something for everyone. You'll even pass a town or two, depending on the cruise. Well, the Princess is an unforgettable trip, and she's open from April through December. So remember, the scenery's beautiful, summer, fall, and winter on Lake Taneycomo. I'm sure a good time was had by all. The Ozarks Discovery IMAX Theater back on Country Music Boulevard is a must-see. Images of unsurpassed size, clarity, and impact are shown daily. Upon entering the complex, you'll find a world of eating and shopping experiences, and you can take in IMAX all in one stop. The auditorium seats 550 very comfortably, with plenty of leg room. It has a 6-track sound system that won't blow you out of your seat, but will make you feel like you're sitting somewhere inside the film itself. That 6-foot young man down there at the bottom of the screen gives you some idea of the immensity of that screen. It's 6 stories high and 83 feet wide. In this image from the Neighbors film, the young man's head would reach the bottom of the tablecloth. The Discovery Theater welcomes you to Branson. The Springfield, Southern, and Iron Mountain Railroad came to Branson in 1905, and the first passenger service began in January 1906. What an attraction, and it's still here courtesy of the Branson Scenic Railway. The depot is located downtown and all original. All aboard for the time of your life. You can relive the romance of classic rail travel over yesteryear, riding the cars of the Zephyr trains, the Vista Dome passenger cars. You'll pass by and marvel at the Old English Station as you travel through the little town of Hollister, a Tudor village named after a town in California. And you'll have no trouble seeing the entire town riding 15 feet above the rails. Next, you'll cross the Taneycomo Bridge, 841 foot long and just 35 feet above the lake. Since leaving Branson just a short distance behind you, you have risen 10 feet in elevation and negotiated the sharpest curve on the White River. Now we're into the country, being whizzed along by an engine of 2,500 horsepower, pulling us up and down 8 to 10 mile grades through some of the most rugged and beautiful countryside on any rail line. The scenery's superb any time of the year, forests, canyons, and mountains. We can thoroughly enjoy it from our vantage point in an environmentally controlled atmosphere. And you can see it in real comfort. You're riding in the Silver Garden, Silver Palace, or perhaps the Silver Solarium, which came from the storied Zephyr trains operating with these cars nationwide from 1949 to as late as 1980. Those trains were famed for reaching speeds of 80 miles an hour. Engineers like Roy Godova operated these stainless steel speedsters in regular service on rail racetracks from Chicago to the Twin Cities. San Francisco, Kansas City, and Denver for many years held the world speed records for scheduled service. Now we're entering Prickett Tunnel, one of two that we passed through, driven through solid granite and clay by hand labor and 25 kegs of dynamite per 5 foot of rock. Ever heading south and southeast, we can admire the beautiful foliage throughout the rough-cut mountainsides. Whoops, there we go again. Back into the daylight, we ride up on the ridge above Walnut Creek Canyon, heading for the high trestles connecting the river valleys. The first of these is the 113-foot high Walnut Creek trestle, built on a 670-foot curve. And just 2 miles further on down the rail, we'll head into the approach to the spectacular Barren Fort Creek trestle. Both the highest, 122 feet, and longest, 913-foot trestle on the route. You can see beautiful views of the river valley on both sides of the train. On most southbound runs, we stop in reverse direction just beyond this point. Roy is heading us home over 20 miles of Ozark beauty. We pass back across the scenic Taneycomo Bridge and back to the Branson station. Let's take a look at Mutton Hollow, where it's a great place to start the morning with shows all day long in 5 different theaters. From youthful cloggers, country, gospel, blazing bluegrass pickers, you can even see the Cajun Festival, Old West Festival, and the German Festival in '94. You might just want a season pass. Begin your morning with a sizzling country breakfast buffet, and then head on in for an exciting breakfast show. After the show, you can meander out across 40 acres of beautiful landscape and enjoy shopping adventures around every corner. You'll want to stop into every one just to see the demonstrations. You might want to make the broom closet your first stop. Maybe you can catch old Swifty in there making a broom from scratch. And you'll want to head into the candle shop to get a beautiful handmade, one-of-a-kind decorator piece. And have a look at the leather shop, where some items can be specially made while you look around. You'll want to be at T&K's Paintings when a demonstration's in progress there. And be sure to see Devon making dolls from wildflowers and other woody things. Be sure to drop by the woodshed for beautiful and unique Ozark-made wood items. And you'll enjoy watching Rick turn out some super items on his lathe like this noodle cutter taking form in cherry wood. You don't have to hurry around, you know that's just not done in the Ozarks. Grab a bench now and then and smell the roses. Victoria's stained glass is full of works of beautiful creativity. And don't miss the painted gourd, or you might miss how Karen adds those beautiful touches to all those gourds she grew herself. Stop now and then for some ice cream or a cold drink. And if you want to do something really fun, head on over to the country fair where the rides are just right for us and the kids too. How long has it been since you enjoyed an old-fashioned carousel? Or ridden the Ferris wheel? You can still get a view from up here. Smack your partner if he gets the cradle to rocking. Ride a train that's just the right size for any size, and enjoy the grounds on wheels instead of Shank's horses. Sure, you can watch the girls go by, but you best be pretending to rest a little. Well, let's go take a close look at some of the shows that are available to you.
This world seems bright and gay, and when Irish eyes are smiling, sure they'll steal your heart away.
Oh, I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it's wonderful to be an American Irishman, because it lets me tell Irish stories like the time Pat took his wife to a psychiatrist. Psychiatrist examined Pat's wife very thoroughly. When he got all through, he says, "Pat, I have bad news for you. Your wife has lost her mind." Pat says, "It doesn't surprise me. She's been giving me a piece of it for the last 30 years.
If my heart is fall, hear the raging storm, drifting along with the tumbleweed.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me.
He said, "You know what it was?" I said, "Well, I don't have any idea." He said, "Well, I had a flat tire. Jumped out, changed that tire, got back in the car, headed down the road, heard this whop, 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 whop. He said, "You know what it was?" I said, "You had another flat." He said, "Nope, I changed the wrong tire."
Be sure to stop into Mountain Dulcimers on your way out and let Linda show you what our music once was. been a great day in Mutton Hollow. We've enjoyed great food, great music, rides, and wonderful people. Now let's head out and have a look at the Branson Civil War Museum, the area's largest private collection of Civil War artifacts. It's not just for the fellas either. The ladies will love the Apple White Ladies Gallery as they compare fashion and taste of bygone years. The artifacts are beautifully presented to capture the romance, the struggle, and the horror of a war that found brother fighting brother. And in the theater area, you'll be enthralled by the reenactments of major battles throughout the campaigns. The entire museum is educational, inspiring, and beautiful. From time to time during the season, we may get a chance to see the 26th Missouri put on a show. This is the place where truly the North meets the South in Branson, Missouri. And it's only fitting as we are just south of the Mason-Dixon line and we're host to a number of skirmishes and battles on either side of us. Back out on the lake, here comes the Sammy Lane Pirate Cruise, Coast Guard approved launch and licensed captain. The Sammy Lane has operated on the lake since 1916, and now you can enjoy her too as a 70-minute narrated cruise at Lake Taneycomo. Captain Rick Haggard expects to get some help on every trip from any of all ages to help pilot the boat and ward off the fiery pirate and his blazing cannon. Be sure to bring your camera along for all the beautiful wildlife and get a picture of that feisty pirate when he finally catches up and marauds the boat. He's a little ornery, but he only wants the gold. The kids will love it, and the adults will get some real laughter out of the whole episode. You finally get a chance to throw him off. Just maybe jerk the gold away from him before he leaves. Rain or shine, it's a great and informative trip. 4 trips a day, April through May, 12 trips a day, May through September, and 3 trips a day, September through October. Tour groups welcome anytime. Be sure to keep an eye out for that pirate, though. Yeah, I'll relive a tradition on Branson's new lakefront and cruise on the Lake Queen. A true stern wheeler, she's Coast Guard approved and as graceful as they come. She's 65 foot at the beam and 32 foot at the gunwale, and she glides through the water without a wiggle because of her hull design. No spilled drinks or upset tummies here, just peaceful cruising through the tranquil waters at Lake Taneycomo. Your captain, Cliff Ballou, can tell you all about her as he helped build her 35 years ago. Her 120 horsepower engine drives her through a split paddle on the stern. 1 breakfast and dinner cruise and 4 to 5 narrated sightseeing cruises per day, April through Christmas. And breakfast, if you like to eat, the Lake Queen provides a buffet fit for royalty. Not fancy, but mouth-watering and finger-licking good. After breakfast, you'll be sure to catch the dinner cruise another time. And there's entertainment here, too, by Bethany and J.C. Just listen. Everyone obviously just has a good time. Just look around. Why, people even charter this boat for weddings, and it's available for anniversaries, birthdays, proms, church groups, employee parties, clubs, and more and more and more. The Lake Queen is just that, the queen of the waterways. How could anybody not fit their plans into the Lake Queen with all their deck space, good food, a stage for entertainment, and views like this? And Taneycomo being a cold water trout lake, there's a cool breeze blowing off the water most any time. Well, here she comes. We've seen sheer bluffs and peaceful coves, wildlife along the shores, and some beautiful homes. But now it's time to say goodbye until dinner time. Let's get off the water and out to green pastures and have a look at the countryside in the fall. The Ozarks is famous for its fall colors because of the immense hardwood forests. You'll find the ever-present oak mixed with a dozen other varieties like cherry, walnut, hard maple, hickory, and hackberry. There's always a big sprinkle of green, too, because of the native cedar, pine. The Ozarks is just a great place to be in the fall. Less humidity and mild temperatures. And this leads us to the National Crafts Festival at Silver Dollar City. The city's a great place to visit anytime, but the fall is just special. Silver Dollar City is an 1890s theme park with rides, of course, reminiscent of the time period. There's all kinds of unique rides, but people come this time of year for the good food cooked outside in the crisp air, good music, wonderful down-home folks, and especially for the many new craftspersons that are here just for this occasion. If you haven't been, you certainly owe it to yourself to go. Food eaten outside in the crisp air tastes better. Just smell the fresh turnovers cooked in a wood-fired oven and help yourself to a cup of hot cider. Sit out in one of the open areas, enjoy a full-course meal, and you can sit inside too if you like. Oh, if you could smell this fresh whole onion a-cooking as big as a muskmelon. Enjoy all the goings-on, whether it's something as simple as a mule-drawn wagon going by or other folks enjoying themselves looking at a scarecrowed pumpkin patch. Watch knives being made by hand as beautiful as these. And an oak bucket being made from scratch. I mean from the tree. Watch the art of repoussé. Repo what? Seen a lot of jigsaws, maybe not one you had to bicycle, I'll bet. There are steam-powered lathes from which beautiful copper items are turned. And you can see silver and gold worked into beauty with nothing but a torch. Watch brass sheets being ground freehand into some of the most beautiful works on earth, and stained glass fashioned from raw material, just as it always was. See how you can get a strip off a sassafras log to make a basket, or give a hand with it. Watch the potter work, not on an electric turntable, but a foot-powered one. There's some really unique old traditional designs here, and all the crafts throughout the park are for sale too. Stop by the basket shop and see how they are woven and how you get a strip of oak that thin in the first place. Did you know how taffy was made? I sure didn't, but I've always known what to do with it. There's plenty to see and do at Silver Dollar City, and loafing is not to be excluded. Kids will surely find it fun to try a game developed well before Great-Grandpa came to be. Find out about the steam engines from the men who have run them all their life. And there are theatrical and music shows around the park when you're ready to have a sit down and do some fine listening, the saloon show being my personal favorite. If you got your license and made arrangements, you can even get married in the old original Wilderness Church. And you can learn how unusual musical instruments have been made and used for centuries. The wood carver is probably the most reminiscent of the Ozarks because it was done for entertainment, and Silver Dollar City has some of the world's finest craftsmen. A real blacksmith is always a pleasure to watch, and he makes a lot of useful items that are for sale, too. You'll see beautiful creations made from hard stone with a mere hammer and chisel. Silver Dollar City is open from mid-April to mid-December. Well, we didn't have near time to cover everything, but you come see for yourself. One of my favorite pastimes in the fall is to get out and look around. I don't mean trespass. Stay on the road. but there are some sights to see. Sights of yesteryear gone by. I think that says it all. While you're out and about, mosey around some of the coves on the lake where the foliage is absolutely gorgeous. Let's head on out to Inspiration Point and the Shepherd of the Hills country to see what goes on during the Fall Harvest Festival. Inspiration Tower rises 230 foot 10 inches above the elevation of 1,376 feet and marks the cornfield in which Harold Bell Wright wrote his famous story, The Shepherd of the Hills. Homestead's on the National Register. And you can take a Jeep-drawn tour to all the points of interest and have them explained by a colorful Ozark tour guide. You will see the major characters of Wright's story immortalized in cement just below Inspiration Tower. And close by, a beautiful floral clock replica from the 1904 World's Fair in St. Louis. Enjoy one of the many churches in which the author gave a sermon. And visit Old Matt's cabin, built in 1884. Fall is truly a beautiful time of year at the homestead and marks the Shepherd of the Hills Free Fall Harvest Festival. You'll see many craftsmen about the place, but none is more interesting than Earl Maggard, their wheelwright and buggy maker. Be sure to see Old Matt's sawmill and grist mill down on the theater stage, much as it was in 1907. In addition to the Jeep-drawn tour, you can tour nearly all the homestead by Clydesdale wagon. A real treat, I must say. Horseback rides are available into the beautiful Roarock Valley. And there's a really unique petting zoo. But not everything is pettable, I think you'll agree. But they are beautiful, well-kept animals by animals on the move. What a pretty kitty. There are a few little critters that you can pet, though, of various kinds, even if you are still a little hesitant. I'm sure you need to take a pot-bellied pig home, don't you think? Up at the cane mill, you can feed the mule a nibble, but keep the arm. He'll be most grateful, as you can see. There are craftsmen galore and quite a number of booths of Ozark-made products. And food! Just mosey around and enjoy yourself. It's time for the evening theater performance of Harold Bell Wright's immortal story and gathering time to catch a tram into the valley. The Shepherd of the Hills Outdoor Theater is celebrating its 35th year, and it's something you just won't want to miss. Let's take a glimpse of that production and the actual setting where the story took place nearly 100 years ago. Over 80 native Ozark people gather each year to portray the roles of those who actually lived the famous story. Some have been here over 25 years. The show is acclaimed as the most exciting vacation experience in America today. Even the audience gets to participate at intermission time. Along with the actors, 20 head of horses, 15 head of sheep, dozens of real firearms, authentic costumes, a mean cat, and a turn-of-the-century automobile. So come and enjoy a real-life drama. Take part as well. Good and evil have their confrontations too, and this fight becomes real believable. You can just ask the fellows about it all at curtain call when they come limping back onto the stage. The play gets pretty hot towards the end when an attempt is made to burn a real log cabin to the ground. You can feel the heat right into the audience. Well, that's a peek at the Shepherd of the Hills Outdoor Theater in Homestead, but enough to whet your appetite. Well, fall is getting right towards Old Man Winter, that's for sure. It won't be much longer before the leaves are on the ground and the winds are whistling. The geese are on their way down, and I expect that means we're mighty close to Ozark Mountain Christmas in Branson. And a ride on the sleigh pulled by Clydesdales towards the church is a good way to set the mood, even if we are short on snow. When most tourist areas are closing up around the eastern and Midwest parts of the country, Branson's full steam ahead. Let's begin with the true meaning of Christmas back at the Shepherd of the Hills.
The star that God had placed over the stable led them to Jesus, and they found the shepherds praising the baby king. And they too fell upon their knees to worship him and present him with gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And this night was filled with love and glory. It was the most beautiful of all nights, the holy night.
So you see, Pete, that is why Christmas is so very important.
It represents one of the greatest miracles in history, the birth of our Savior, the Lord Jesus Christ.
See what a glorious bill. Here is a hammer and lots of tacks, also a ball and a whip that cracks. Ho, 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 who wouldn't go? Ho, 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 who wouldn't go? Up on the housetop, click, 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 down through the chimney with good Saint Nick. Hail the new he lights and lasses, la 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 la. Sing we joyous all together, la 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 la. Hear the sound of wind and weather, la 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 la.
Come to Bethlehem and see him whose birth the angels sing. Come adore on bended knee, Christ the Lord, that newborn King. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in one-horse open sleigh.
The Coventry Carolers and Barbara Last at the piano at Engler Block, the France family at Mutton Hollow, and the Banks sisters at the Ozark Theater really get you in the mood for Christmas, don't they? Here we are at the Shepherd of the Hills for their trail of lights that you can enjoy from the comfort of your car, or if you wish, you can bundle up for some fun in an open trailer for Christmas merriment with an Ozark tour guide. Well, that's all for Shepherd of the Hills. We're off now to Kimberling City, not far away, for another drive-through. This time it's their port of lights. And now it's Silver Dollar City with their beautiful Christmas shops, Christmas pageant, good food, music, and a startling array of Christmas lights and decorations. High on a mountain overlooking Branson, we see the Nativity in giant-sized figures. And we'll go on to see some of the many lights along the lake and the famous Christmas parade.
Daytime Christmas in the Ozark, and they drove through the park.
The winter months is a great time for you to come on down and rent a cabin and prop your feet by the fire. Yes, we get a little snow, but it's usually gone in 2 or 3 days. Although sometimes we do get a lot.
Round yon virgin mother and child, holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace.
Branson is still building vigorously, gouging out the earth and building new and more exciting theme parks, theaters, restaurants, motels, hotels, and who can guess what's next. The trees are coming down for homes, businesses, condos, and golf courses. And we all fret and worry some, but federal, state, local government, and the environmentalists are keeping a watchful eye. Fiber optic cables are going in and new power lines are being strung all over the hills and valleys. Highways are being widened throughout the whole Southwest to handle the influx of 9 million visitors in the years to come. And new roads are being built like the Ozark Mountain High Road, a multi-lane monster grinding its way through the limestone hills. But it's the only means to make way for folks to come and enjoy all the beauty and entertainment we have to offer. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Y'all come see us.